What's up, guys? My name is Ben Claybrook with Clean Energy Movement, and I am recording this video today because I was helping a friend go solar and we realized there was a huge difference in what I was quoting for solar versus what he had previously received as a quote for solar. And that presented the question, are companies overcharging for solar? Where it might arise is, we all know right now it's year 2019, so there is a 30% federal tax credit. Solar companies might not be excited I'm telling you this, but maybe some of the companies are increasing their cost just because they know the customer is getting that 30% tax credit. I don't think it's cool, but one place where you can find out kind of a transparent source to see what other people are paying for solar is this website. It's a government website, californiadgstats.ca.gov. This is only for California. I think they'll build it out in other states, but at least you can see in California, what people are paying, and so you can compare it to yours. I think other states might be a little bit more affordable, maybe not, because there are different incentives in each state. So every state has its own local incentives for solar as well. And so some of the companies like to it's easy to get lost in the numbers, we'll put it that way, right? But a very transparent way to look at solar, if you are curious to see if you're getting a fair quote, go here, just type in a zip code. I'm going to put in mine, 92618, and it's going to pull up recent installations in the area. And this is from, basically it's pulling data from the utility companies. So it's very transparent, right? There's no fluffing the numbers here. And the best way to look at solar, let me pull up a notepad, is let's say you're quoted 28,000 for so we'll do dollars, so that's clear. Oops. For a 6.0 kilowatt system. What that is 6,000 watts. And so the most transparent way to compare solar is dollar per watt. So just take 28,000 and divide it by 6. Let me get my calculator, kind of figure out what that is. 28,123 divided by 6,000. You have 4.66. Right? So you have $4.66 per watt, right? That's what they were quoted at for their system. So let's go ahead and look on this side, what other people are paying for solar. So we've got a recent install, June 28th, same zip code from SunPower for 472. Okay, so it's slightly more. Another one for 472, slightly more. Here's one for 321. All right, so maybe that's a cash purchase. So the other thing to keep in mind is that solar companies have certain things to work with. If they're doing a cash purchase, usually they'll do a discount, because if they finance, the finance company is charging them upfront, usually between $1,000 and $2,000. So they'll usually add that to the customer's cost if the customer's financing. So that would be a difference between like 321 and 472. If we go further down, you can see this one, SunPower, for 565. And let's see the size. This is maybe, so here's kind of, if you're curious, here's what it boils down to for the solar consultant and for the company. When it's a smaller size system, sometimes the company will charge more just to make it more worth their while to do the smaller system. Personally, I don't think that's really fair. I think you should do a fixed price. That's kind of my favorite model for a company, is having a fixed price so the salesman doesn't have any control to kind of, increase the prices, charge more, make a bigger commission. I'm not a big fan of that, so I'd much prefer they have a locked-in price. But you can see a lot of them don't have that, right? From the same company, you can see already kind of, what is it? 1, 2, 3, about 4 different prices, right? So you've got different salesmen. These ones are similar. That's why this is kind of the most transparent way. It's cost per watt, which again is just the total cost of the system you were quoted before the tax credit divided by the total number of watts. And the total number of watts is just the size of the system. So 6.0 kilowatts equals 6,000 watts. So basically 1 kilowatt is 1,000 watts, right? And so just take the total cost you were quoted divided by the total number of watts. Huge thing to keep in mind. I got, they tried to pull this one on us the other day. This company that was giving him the quote, they gave him the after tax credit amount. And so they told them to check that, for their cost per watt, which is not true. You should check the before tax credit, because the tax credit is yours, not theirs, right? You're still paying that amount. You're just getting the 30% back when you do your taxes. So it really just kind of got on my nerves. I thought I wanted to record this video to kind of give you a good idea. The average cost per watt in California, $443, and that's probably combining finance and cash. So that's the average, right? If we go and scroll down here, feel free to go to the site yourself too. It's really kind of fun to check out what other people are paying, so you know if you're getting a good deal or not so good deal. So if we go ahead and scroll through, a lot of them are like this one looks like you got a great deal from SolarMax, $3.09, right? This SunPower ones you can see are almost always overpriced, and SunPower, yeah, it's usually just because of their panels are slightly better, but I don't think that's worth the additional cost, because if you're doing this, you know, that extra dollar times 1,000 adds up to quite a lot, right? When you're talking about the size of the system, you know, that times 1,000 times the size of the system, it adds up a lot. And so I personally don't think it's worth the extra money just to have a slightly fancier solar panel when you're getting the same exact electricity out of a panel from Texas, for example. It does great. It's called Mission Solar or Canadian Solar. This is great. Gets the job done, looks just as good. You know what I mean? Especially when it's on the back of the house or on the side where you don't even notice it there. So that's just my take. I highly recommend scanning through the site to see what others are paying. What I'm seeing prices, you can get it as low as the lowest I've seen is $236. That's the very bottom, where it's fixed pricing, so the salesman isn't charging up. It's from the type of company model where they don't have managers and they don't have salesmen to pay. So they're able to lower their pricing because they're not paying all those middle people. You're just getting it direct from them, usually online. And I'll put a link for that in the description below if you want to, or you can just message me and I'll let you know. The highest I'm seeing is around 5, just over 5. Like this one right here is probably the highest I've seen in a while, 565. That's a lot. Personally, I would say it should be between $3 and $4. If you're going above 4, that's if you're doing zero down, then that would make sense. But yeah, on the low end, $235 for cash, $268, $278 for zero down is on the low end. By zero down, I just mean where you finance 100% of it, no money out of pocket, just pay monthly. On the low end, it's about $268. Yeah, again, depending on your house too. If you just have comp shingle, that's the most affordable. On the high end, I wouldn't recommend letting that get above $5. That's definitely overpaying. All right, so if you have any questions, definitely feel free to let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye.